Welcome to the Radical Job Shop Show, where leaders of some of America's most vital and under-the-radar small businesses go deep and get gritty about what it takes to build a bold, profitable, and impactful shop. I'm your host, Joann Wilkins, founder of Marketing Metal, the anti-agency that helps machine shops, fabricators, and custom equipment builders craft a radical brand that leaves behind a legacy. This next conversation is with Ted Wilcome, co-founder of a machine shop that's grown from one CNC in a small room to 16 machines in just 5 years. Frustrated by long lead times as an engineer, Ted set out to build a shop that delivers fast, reliable solutions and backs it up with strong customer service. With a 98.5% quote rate, a hands-on apprenticeship program, a focus on cutting wasted time out of manufacturing, his team is proving what's possible when you put responsiveness first. This is the Radical Job Shop Show.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
I'm honored.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember, you reached out, was it from a LinkedIn post or my emails?
Your emails. Yes.
Who's on my email list? Is that you?
Yes.
Okay. How'd you get on there?
I don't know. I've been on there for a while. We do newsletters.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool. We're in need of some marketing things and we haven't taken any steps yet.
Haven't taken any steps yet?
Yeah. I did a couple of intro calls with different people and then never. It's tough because you market when you're slow and then you get busy and then you forget about the marketing and then it's like, we're slow again. We should have marketed back then.
Marketing when you're busy.
The whole time, yeah.
Yep,
so.
Yeah. Yeah, marketing is a slow burn kind of a deal.
Trying to learn that as quickly as I can.
Yeah. So tell me about your shop.
So we started 5 years ago. I used to be an engineer.
Do you ever stop being an engineer?
No.
You're still an engineer.
What we bring is engineering and manufacturing together. And so as an engineer, I was designing parts. My education was at Ferris State for manufacturing engineering.
Yeah.
I would design a component that I needed. I was doing a lot of end-of-arm tooling and things like that for the robotics industry, a lot for the automotive industry, things like that. And I would design a component that I knew could be manufactured because I had that background. And I would send it out to a number of shops in the Detroit area, because that's where I was working at the time. And I would end up with no quotes or lead times that were not what I requested. I like to think of things as average details, like your average detail that maybe costs $300 or $400 can be machined by most shops. Sometimes I would need that in, let's say, a week, and I would get a quote back, and that quote would be for 3 weeks. It was tough to work with because the management of the company I was working for, my end customer, things like that, were not going to settle for that 3-week delivery. And I quite frankly got tired of begging machine shop owners to do my parts the way I wanted them done in the time frame I wanted them done. And so we started a company based around the idea that we're going to give you a solution. We're going to show up with, it might not be the cheapest solution, but we will find a way to put a solution together. We're going to find a way to give you a good value for your manufacturing problem. We started out with one CNC in a little one-room shop, and within the first week we'd hired our first employee, and that was the best thing that's ever happened to us. The rest is history. We've got 16 machines now. We do a wide variety of things from automotive to aerospace and defense. We do everything from one part to 50,000 parts a month on some product lines. We pride ourselves on being that go-to solution provider for people. Yeah.
So being on the other side of it now, are you finding yourself pushing back on engineers and saying you can't get stuff done?
I want to be the person that doesn't complain to that engineer because I know what it feels like.
Yeah.
When you really just need something to have these features and things like that, we put every effort into just doing the job the way the customer needs it done. Sometimes that puts our price a little higher, but I think that's a good value if the engineer gets what he needs.
Yeah. You got to pay for convenience and speed, right?
Yes.
So you've been saying we. You have a partner?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
How did you guys make that decision? It's a big leap to go from I'm an engineer to...
I founded the business. I was just inspired at the time. And I think that's all it takes sometimes. You get the ball rolling, and then I told people I was going to do it. And so I kind of got that, like, kind of a public accountability.
Yeah.
And I started, and then in 2 weeks, my partner had heard about, we knew each other already, and had heard about what we were doing, and we both thought that he would be a good fit in the company. So yeah, he brought a lot of management experience in the manufacturing industry, and I came with engineering background, so yeah.
Awesome. This is the Radical Job Shop show. So what do you think is most radical about your shop? What's most different and unique about yours?
I think one of the statistics that I'm super proud of is we only have about a 1.5% no quote rate. Company sends us something, there's about a 98.5% chance that we're going to put a price to that job for that company.
Okay.
We take pride in finding solutions through outside vendors and other shops in the area, networking, and kind of building that team. We want to keep manufacturing in the United States. No one has everything. No one has every piece of equipment, but we can use our engineering, quite frankly, to find a way to make that part.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we pride ourselves on.
Yeah. What do you want your company to be known for?
We want to be known for a place that people can grow at the rate that they want to grow. Some people want to learn more than others. We want to create basically that garden where people can grow at their pace that they're comfortable with and be satisfied with that, be fulfilled. So we have a very active apprenticeship program. I like to think of it as, I made a term called a talent escalator. So you have like your top like CNC programmers and things like that at the top. We like to organically feed those with more apprentices and junior programmers and things like that. A statistic that I'm super proud of is right now, every single CNC programmer we have was not educated in that field. They started showing up in the manufacturing space and they said, I want to learn more. And they kept taking on more and more challenges within our company and within the companies that they came from. But not any formally educated like myself, manufacturing engineers. People that learned on the job, they might have taken some trade school classes at night, but they've learned on the job and they've really created that for themselves.
What have you done to market your shop?
So we're a fairly new company. We haven't done a lot of marketing. What we've done that works is we have just showed up with good customer service. And in a number of cases, outsiders to our company have noticed that and have helped us build that our customer base. So we're pretty open-minded when it comes to that sort of thing. We do have compensation for those people, the sort of representatives of our company. But in every case, it's just been someone who's an outsider to our company and they've noticed that we do provide a unique service. And they've basically said, like, we know people who want this. It's about who they know at that point. That's been our marketing, really, so far.
What motivates you?
I don't know. I guess I would say I'm a pretty motivated person, but I just love the opportunity to get up and work in the manufacturing space and really take on new challenges every day. I think that's what motivates me more than anything. Before this, I worked for a very small company. We were solving pretty advanced challenges every day. I like that flexibility and that variety of problem solving. Owning a business obviously has those same similar challenges.
This thing that you started 5 years ago, what is the impact that it's had that's been like the most surprising to you?
A couple years ago, we hired a CNC programmer. The gentleman was fairly advanced, had a lot of really good experience. We onboarded him, and in one of our first conversations, he had brought up the fact that he had interviewed at over 30 shops before settling with us. I know that there's a story there. I don't know how to tell that story, but somehow when people interview at other companies and then they choose us, that's the thing that I'm really, really proud of. I feel that we have a high acceptance rate when we make offers to people for new roles, and I'm super proud of the fact that other people they're interviewing at other shops and they're still choosing us. And I never know exactly what that is, and I don't think it's just one thing. I think it's the team we have and a lot of things that come together well, but that's what I'm most proud of.
What do you think is attributed to that?
I don't know. It's the team that they're interfacing with in the interview process, what they're seeing on the floor. We try to keep a clean, well-lit environment. We have newer machines. There's a massive variety on our floor of different parts every day. There are big parts 7 feet long. There are little parts, that you can hold in your hand. Every type of material. The variety, I think that's attractive to people.
Your interview process, you have them talk to multiple people on your team?
Yes, we have an HR manager that kind of manages that stuff, depending on what position they're hiring for. They may come in for multiple interviews.
You've grown pretty fast in 5 years.
Yes, we're blessed to have a lot of growth and support.
What do you think is the secret sauce?
I think it's customer service. So customer service starts when a customer sends you an RFQ. How fast does that quote come back to them? How communicative are you through that process? How much communication and how much accessibility. So if a person just wants to know what their project status is, they deserve answers to those questions. They really want answers to those questions. And when you can do that, obviously execution, actually getting the job done is the most important thing. But there's so much that goes around that just makes a good experience for the customer. That's where our growth comes from.
What's your biggest challenge? What has been your biggest challenge?
I'm going to answer this as more of like a leader, owner, is just letting go of things, control. The first 2 weeks of the company, I was the only employee, so I was able to control everything. And then as we grew with people took on roles. Some roles are not as fun, so they're easy to let go of. It's easy for me to think that I'm the best person for that job, and I'm probably not ever the best person for that job. There's a better person out there. There's probably a better person on our team. And then there's a massive benefit to just letting that team member take that job on, learn from it, make some mistakes, in the same way that I did when I was starting out. I didn't know the formula immediately, but letting that control go, it is difficult. It's something that I work on all the time.
Yeah, delegating is a skill that you have to practice really hard. Probably one of the hardest things about being a leader.
I'm excited for some of the things that we're working on in our company. We're specifically attacking our quoting area, our first point of customer interface.
Using a system or software?
Not so much, really more basic principles. Trying to respond to a customer, their outreach in under an hour. Someone on the sales team. We have 4 people that are monitoring those emails, so somebody should be able to tell the customer, listen, we see you, we hear you, we're working on this. And really driving down the cost or the time that it takes to get your quote and move forward with that part and even make the part. The bar is really set too low in the industry right now. In the US manufacturing space, it's acceptable to wait 2 or 3 days for a quote for a part that the industry knows how to make. It goes back to that average part that most of your shops can make. I think that we have a goal of getting that down to, 1 or 2 hours to get that quote back. Time is money. Time is money. As a country, I think we can be more effective. As an industry, we can be more effective if we just cut some of that unneeded time out of that purchasing equation. Then in every step of the manufacturing process, it's the same way. If you look at that average detail, maybe that takes 3 or 4 hours to make, total person time. That detail is probably offered at like a 3 to 4 week lead time. In many cases, 6 or 7. So really that part is sitting, or that order is sitting for 99% of its life cycle until it gets to the customer. It's being worked on for a very short window of time. And I do understand that it's got to be scheduled and things like that, but I think there's ways to eliminate a lot of that time, that waiting time that just is not value added. It's storage space for the machine shop, if nothing else.
What's your average
we're doing a lot of stuff in 1 to 2 weeks. We're finding that a lot of when larger, especially like your automation companies and things like that, when they have time, they're just going to go overseas. And so a lot of those companies are looking for quick lead time in their local suppliers. So we look for material suppliers that have really responsive lead times, responsive to quotes. If I need to make a part in a week, I really need that material quote in a couple hours because I need to order it that day. Probably need to receive it tomorrow. So that's kind of what we're trying to do there. Yeah. Thank you for having me. I appreciate that.